I feel the need to make a rant video today because of something really dumb that I just saw. Okay, right? I see what I basically see is a scene from a show that I watched, and this guy like shaved off his facial hair and shit, like his beard and whatnot, his goatee and his mustache. Right? He shaved it all off, and this other guy saying, "Oh, you shaved your stuff, you shaved it off, so you must be gay." I'm like, dude, I had to pause the show at that point because I'm like, I'm not gonna give out the name of the show, but I'm like, seriously, are people that damn dumb? Like really, let's think about this for a second. A guy trying to say another guy is. And here's the thing: what the fuck does shaving off your facial hair have to fucking? What the fuck does that have to do with sexual preference? It doesn't have shit to do with that. It doesn't. It's the most dumbest, and that ain't all. No, no, it gets worse. It gets worse. I tend to ignore dumb shit like this because whenever I hear people speak like that, I just ignore the shit out of it because I'm just at complete disbelief at how dumb people can be. Seriously, like it's as if they don't listen to themselves when they talk. They really don't. And they don't realize half the dumb shit that comes out of their mouth. They really don't, man. I don't think they even understand half the dumb shit that comes out of their mouth. They really, really don't. For instance, it's to a point to where like if you even MGTOWs get bullshit ass comments like this just because a MGTOW wants to go their own way, is not interested in basically going and trying to date every fucking female they see. They just want to be left the fuck alone, live their life. Oh, it's got to be something wrong with them. Oh no, they must be into dudes. What? So are you so you basically what you mean to tell me that a guy doesn't have a just because I'm a guy, I don't have a fuck and I'm not interested in basically going out finding a woman right now, considering my not to mention my circumstances by the way. So you mean to tell me just because I see that how marriage is fucking rigged, you mean to tell me that the whole child support thing is rigged too? It's because I see that shit and I tend to avoid it. Not to saying I wouldn't want to find a woman out there. I do, but it's just not the time for that. It is just not the time for that at all. And even before then, before all of this shit happened, even before I was targeted, it ain't that I didn't want to find a woman. It's just that it was just too much bullshit, man. It was too much bullshit. I mean, I'm not finna date a woman, and half the women I was around were not, dude. They were just not the type of women I was looking for. It never mattered. The type of skin color they had didn't fucking matter. It never mattered. Never, never. It was all about their personality. That's all it was. If I mean, what? Just because I'm supposed to just date any woman who just comes my way, even though I'm not interested in that particular woman's behavior. This even if we don't connect, I'm supposed to just accept that? Are you fucking serious? Think about it though. Like, why do people think there's so many fucked up relationships out there now? There's some good ones out there. Even people who are married do have good relationships. But it's not to say everybody who's married has good relationships. Some people make it work, some people don't. That's just how it is. But it's just so dumb. It's just so dumb. And even MGTOWs are being called that shit just because they want to be left the fuck alone. It's not that all MGTOWs just some MGTOWs basically go out and bang every woman they can get every now and then, but then they won't be commitful to it. They'll just basically leave off. I'm not really that type of MGTOW. If I get with a woman, I'm sticking with that woman, but like I'm not gonna just get with any kind of woman, dude. That's just not gonna happen. But it's just that when I hear dumb shit like this, man, I'm just in utter disbelief. Most of the time, I just walk away, don't even pay no mind to it. But like, I really felt the need to do a rant after this because like that was the most dumbest shit I have ever heard. Because think about it, when you're born, right? When you're born, and when you're born, you're a guy, right? Let's say like when you're born, you're a guy, and you are a guy, and you're growing up. You don't fucking have a mustache. You don't fucking have a goatee. You don't have any facial hair. You don't have any of that shit. So when a person tries to call a guy that shit just because they shaved their shit off, it's dumb because and it's very counterproductive because technically, if you're calling someone who just shaves their off, what about the boys who don't even have facial hair growing in yet because they didn't hit puberty? Are you calling them that because that's what it sounds like? And you see, they don't think about shit like that, man. They just say it really, really. I'm just completely at all at how fucking stupid people are. Seriously, I am just completely at all with how stupid people are nowadays, man. I really am. I honestly am, like really. And it goes even farther than that. It goes way farther than man. That's nowhere near the stupidest shit people say. It really isn't. It really isn't. And it's like now it doesn't have to do with the shit that these perps are doing. No, this was something completely different. This was something completely different. But I guess I could use my situation as as an example, right? As you all know, I mean, I've showed the evidence. I am being hit with directed energy weapons. Um, I am being stalked 24/7, and it's a never-ending thing. I didn't consent to any of this shit at all, man. I didn't consent to none of it, not a bit of it. But when they do this shit, the only thing that's telling me, right, is that it isn't that I'm that way. It's that they're that way because they constantly have that shit fixed. Even if they're being paid, that's basically when a guy acts like that around another guy. That's basically giving me the impression, oh, it isn't that I'm that way. You're that way, right? They're that way because the way that they're acting is that they are projecting inner thoughts to my direction as a means to basically try to hide their true selves, all because they're too embarrassed because of how their friends are going to think of them if they did come out and say with how they really are. I'm not interested in them, but they still find the need to basically bring that subject into the mix every day. I don't go out of my way talking to these people that does this shit. I don't bring up the subject. They do. Who's the main motherfucker always talking about that shit? They are. Who's the main motherfucker always bringing that dumb shit up? They are. Who makes random assumptions about that shit? They do. Every fucking subject related to that shit has always been the subject of gay this and gay that with them. That's all it's ever been. And it's like, okay, well, I find if you're like that, I don't give a fuck, okay? But I'm not interested. I'm not playing for the same team. I love my women, but I got boundaries and I got circumstances right now that I wouldn't want to bring a woman into my life to deal with this shit, okay? I wouldn't want to fucking do that because that would be unfair to her. But in this case, it ain't really gonna matter much later on because like they planning on doing this shit to everybody if people don't fight this shit soon, you know? TI's already been fighting this shit long enough, but we need more people to basically fight against this crap. We really do. But you know something? I have a saying that I've told a lot of people this. Negative people say negative things, right? They say negative things to lower down your spiritual vibration. They do that to promote negativity. You know, you may find yourself start to swear more. You may find yourself to be more in more of an irritable mood. You may find yourself to be more irritated. You may find yourself to even go as far as even hating your perps. You see, that's the point. They do this crap to basically try to convert you into the same emotions that they have in their being. That's what they do. They don't want you to be a loving person. They don't want you to be a kind-hearted person. They want you to be cold-hearted. They don't want you to be peaceful. They want you to be hateful, resentful. That's what they want. They feed off that negative energy. They want you to basically be in a negative mood so they can feed off the energy you basically have. We are very high vibrational spiritual beings, man. We really are. And they are so desperate to keep us on. You know something? I think this really does have a correlation between both heaven and hell. They desperately do this crap to try to lower your spiritual vibration, right? Think about it. Your spiritual vibration is being more lowered to the surface instead of instead of ascending into the atmosphere, right? And I'm using this as a prime example so people will get it of where I'm getting at here. Let's say like all this crap is happening on the planet Earth, right? On the surface, and it is. But you start to ascend, guess what? You become farther away from that stuff. You don't have to hear them anymore. You don't have to see their obnoxious, insane behavior. You don't even have to be around their narcissistic behavior at all when you start to ascend. You don't have to see it. You don't have to hear it. You don't have to deal with it. None of it. So it's like the devil's basically using these perps to do that because the devil don't want us to ascend to heaven. That's why they're constantly doing what they do. They do that to lower your spiritual vibration. When you compare that to life, then you start to understand that you can't fight hate with hate. You can't fight anger with anger. You can't fight none of that stuff with that. You got to fight it with peace, love, tranquility. What else? What else? Happiness. You can't defeat negativity with negativity because it doesn't work. You got to defeat it with positivity because positive doesn't mix with negative. That's why raising your spiritual vibration is very important. You'll find yourself to be more in a passive mood to where a lot of their antics don't work on you, you know? And it still doesn't work on me, but I still just felt the need to rant about this, though, because, like, again, it's not so much as the subject that really matters. It's just the fact of how it, just the fact that they would even if it's a scripted show, just the fact that anybody would fucking say such a thing, it's just so dumb. It's just really, really dumb. And like when you start to see things like that, it starts to really make sense on a lot of the things that were said that just didn't make any damn sense. It really does. For instance, the swear word, like for instance, the swear word, like when people say you're pissing me off, right? And I actually used to use that until I started figuring something out about that. I'm like, wait a minute. Technically, even if like you're saying, like, I know some people say you would rather be pissed off than pissed on, but technically it still means you're being peed on, right? Technically, like they would have to be peeing on you to piss you off, and they would have to still be peeing on you to basically piss you on, right? So I don't use that word in particular because of that. And, it's a lot of people don't realize that until they really start questioning the things around them that's happening. They just don't. I was no different. But, yeah, man, this stuff is just, a lot of this stuff is just really, really dumb. A lot more dumb than I even realized. And I'm like, and this, by the way, everybody, this is a TV show that's on television. But I still just can't believe, like, how in the crap that was I watching this shit, and I didn't even realize how dumb it was at the time until now. Like, it's just that, like, that fluoride stuff, man, is a big problem. It really is. That fluoride is a huge problem. Do not ever drink freaking tap water. Please don't, because that stuff is not good for you. But if anything, like, I'm not when I say the devil really wants you to be in a hateful mood, I am not joking, dude. They couldn't like the incident I mentioned yesterday. A lot of the stunts the gang stalkers didn't work. It was very ineffective. I didn't get mad. I didn't even pay no mind to it. I didn't even get frustrated. They did everything they could possibly do, and I just walked on, continued walking on without even without even paying any of them attention. That's when they got desperate and sent that lady after me with the whole oh well, like you can't do that with your mask bit, right? So that was obviously out of desperation. It didn't work, and I basically was able to even deal with that accordingly too. All the while, on my way from there to going back home, I got hit severely with those weapons. That's how desperate the devil is for me to hate. To literally have to carry two large sections of bags of groceries in both hands, walking all the way home, and you're being hit with these weapons at the same time is not an easy thing to deal with, you know? It's not. Entire time this thing is hitting my arms, my legs, my torso, my head. And then you got these people just laughing it up like it's just. And you know something. When I see that, you know something. Am I hateful that that happened? No, I still don't consent to it. But I'm not gonna let any of this stuff drive me to hate. No, I'm not gonna allow some negative individual who is even if they're being paid or not, or they just get off from this kind of stuff to drive me to hate. No, it's not gonna. It's just not gonna work because I reject all of that. I reject that hate. I reject that non-understanding. I reject all that bitterness and negativity that they have. Look, and this goes for everybody. You have a choice to either accept that dirty money or reject it. That's to all those perps. You have a choice. You better remember that. And you better remember all that blood that's all over that money when you accept it. Because that money has been built on nothing but a bunch of lies, deceitful, black projects and stuff like that. It has been basically built upon the suffering of so many people. And then they look at things, all of this materialistic shit that's out here, you know, as a means of like, oh well, like I can finally get this, I can finally get that. Look, man, you can't. When you die, you can't take materialistic things with you. Nobody takes that shit with them. Okay, nobody. When you're dead, you don't take that with you. It doesn't go with you. So I want everybody to think about the situation. Look at how desperate these people are for money. Look at how desperate in the links that they go to get all of this bullshit, all these things that they have. Look at all of the stuff that all of the links that they go to. They go out of their way to even buy shit they don't need. They do and buy shit they don't need. And all that money that they use to buy the shit that they do not need has been built on nothing but the suffering of so many people. The politicians are no better. The people in the government is especially no better. And the shadow government is even worse. It's a crazy situation, man. It really is. There's no point in really. I mean, you could tell them anything, but like, do they listen? Barely. But at the same time, when you see that your gang stalkers are basically, I don't see them using that yellow filter at all. They see my YouTube channel too, by the way. I told them what my YouTube channel was. But then again, I just so happened to notice that like a lot of these idiots basically switched up. It's as if like when they see that, it's like they just, I don't know. It's like it's just not the same people. However, the people who are working in the store They know my YouTube channel, yet they still do the perpetrates at, they still perpetrate. They still do it. So they know the channel. They know that that blue light on their fucking phone is programming them. Project Blueprint ain't no bullshit, man. That blue hue on your screen is programming you. They know this shit, and it showed. Well, pardon my language. They know this, yet they still perpetrate. Right? They know the stuff that's being pumped into the sky, yet they still don't detox. They still work for the organization that is doing it. For what? For favors? And it's like, I don't know how long they're going to keep doing this until they understand that the same organization that hired them is the same one that's going to turn on them. I just like, I can't believe people are just dumb. I can't believe people are just that damn dumb. Like, seriously. And it's the arrogance. It's the arrogance on how, and the stupidity of that I'm just a complete disbelief. I'm like, is there any hope for these types of individuals that are like this? Is there any hope for them at all? Like any at all? I mean, I can pray, but they keep it's just the amount of stuff that they have done. Let me tell you something. We all know what this radiation does, right? How come I see gang stalkers basically eating food out of the microwave? We see all of this stuff. How come I see gang stalkers, even after I told them what the name of my channel was, dude, still eating high fructose corn syrup? How come these, and I guarantee you, even the perps in this freaking apartment complex, I guarantee you this. I don't even have to look. I already be able to tell just from how a lot of this stuff has happened. I guarantee you that some of the products that they have purchased when they go grocery shopping has high fructose corn syrup in it. You don't believe me? Check the nutrition facts. I guarantee you it'll be on it. Whether it's pastries, whether it be any kind of snack or whatever like that, that stuff that they normally eat, I guarantee you there's high fructose corn syrup in that stuff, man. When I see gang stalkers eat that kind of crap, and then they still do the perping as to what they do, and I'm like, it's no wonder you do the crap that you do. You're a damn zombie, and I'm not trying to be. No, you basically they're basically a zombie to the system. They're basically are just willful slaves of this system, and they're programmed that way. They're programmed to continue to program themselves, even when the truth is in their face as to what the stuff is doing. And then they go as far as to even have their own children program themselves the same way as they're doing to themselves, man. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I mean, what, you letting your kids watch TV? You letting your kids watch TV without even, doing the filterization on your television? Like, really? And that's no offense to people who don't know. That's no offense to people who don't know. But these perps, they have no excuse. They don't. Same thing with the with all of that stuff. This stuff still programs people, man. It really does. It really does. So I hope people understand as to like where I'm getting at and why I don't really react to these perps. That's why. I've seen them do some of the most dumbest things that I'm not even shocked anymore. I'm just not even shocked. The only thing that basically is going through my head whenever I do see them act out like that is this. You know something? You want to go ahead and dig that little cesspool where you're gonna basically have your life end up at. You want to keep believing that these idiots are gonna keep on feeding you these peanuts while you go ahead and act like a damn pack rat. Literally sit there and basically just eat up all of that stuff. You really think that they're going to keep doing that? You really think you're going to keep getting these gift cards? You really think you're going to keep getting that Section 8? You really think you're going to keep getting all of these rewards, all of these treats, all of these trinkets while you're basically helping them, promote a communist government? What's going to happen when they want something done and it contradicts to what you want? Do they not ever think about that? Do they not ever think about, there will be a conflict of interest? Do they not ever think about that? Like, seriously, do they not? Let me tell you something. These bastards are basically going out of their way to do this, to promote transhumanization. People want to know what that is. It's where they basically are trying to make people more mechanical than human. It gets much worse. They have actually had something go on where they're basically been harvesting the organs of women. And yes, this has been happening. This is involved with the human trafficking raids that has been basically plaguing the nations for decades now. It gets much worse. It gets a hell of a lot worse. The same people who basically ended up with these organs, it's the same company that came out and this was on the news. This was definitely on the news. The same company that did that shit, that had, there was basically, contractors, private contractors who were responsible for this, as well as the gang stalkers. Yep, they were involved and they were definitely responsible. Gang stalkers are partly to blame for human trafficking people, is what I'm saying. So when you tell a TI you don't believe them when they're telling you that they're being stalked, I hope you understand that that's technically aiding human traffickers, because that's what that shit is. When you say you don't believe that shit and you're not even willing to at least look through the evidence. Look, man, I've showcased so much stuff that points to the truth of this stuff. But if a person is still trying to turn a blind eye to this crap, it's either they're working they're working for the wrong team, or should I say they're working for the enemy, or they were threatened. Because I believe this guy's name was Zach TV, if I'm not mistaken. He was looking into the Kanika Jenkins case, and he got murdered, right? Because he was getting too close. What these idiots don't understand is that if you gun someone down, it's just going to cause people to, look into this shit further. You're going to get caught. They're going to find out you were involved. Let me tell you something, dude. There were family members who were involved in Kanika Jenkins' death. How come? And isn't it not odd that so many of them that had died in a single month like that? That just seems suspicious as hell to me, It's no coincidence that happened. And I'll tell you why it happened. Because they were the closest people to what happened. And it's pretty obvious that they must have been controlled if they have to be gang stalked. Clearly, they must have been. At some point, they would have had to be. And I want people to understand this is the growing problem that we're dealing with today. You got this technology is so elusive that it could basically turn a kind-hearted person into a hateful person. Just like that. It's a program that needs to be destroyed. It's technology that's responsible for this that needs to be destroyed. But the people responsible for deploying that technology also need to be dealt with as well. As long as they're still there, I mean, these problems are going to keep arising. We see so much shit, part of my language. So we see so much of this stuff coming out, being exposed, and yet the same people who were basically accused of this stuff are still in office. Why? Why? Why in the heck are these people still in office? Why, man? Why? I'll tell you why. Because the government is never for the people. It is against the people. That's just what it is. And it's not to say we don't have some good people in the government. Problem is, the damn government has always just been the problem. That's just the bottom line to it. It has always been the problem. They always come out with these random solutions out of their back pocket, even though the problem arises for them from the beginning. This is just how it's always been. And unfortunately, we don't catch up to the fact that they were, responsible for this until later on. Why? Because we have these idiots out there debunking a lot of the stuff. And it turns out when you really find the missing piece of evidence that you needed to find, oh, it turns out it was true. This shit really was happening. We have people within our communities who are basically debunking truths on fallacious facts. And I call it fallacious because it's not their facts is bullshit. A lot of the stuff that these truthers are trying to tell people is really happening. But people don't want to it's just a whole bunch of people out there that don't want to get their head out of their ass to really. It's so dumb because they won't even fucking take the time to research it. They'll say, no, it's not, that ain't true. And they won't even look it up. They won't even look it up, man. They'll tell you some shit ain't true in your face, and they won't even research it themselves. They won't fucking do it. They won't. So everybody, when I say I'm not going to fight a civil war, I mean, I'm not going to fight random citizens who could very well be mind manipulated to basically pushing forth this agenda. I'll fight the bastards who are deploying this technology and trying to mind control everybody. Oh, heck yes, I will definitely fight them. Without a doubt. I will definitely fight them to put a stop to this, because that's where the main issue is at. You need to fight them in order to stop all of this. You got to take this battle to the source, to where all of this shit is being deployed, all of this shit is happening, all of these connections at. You need to take the battle to them. Otherwise, this stuff will never end. All of these riots that you see, a lot of these setups, a lot of this human trafficking, a lot of this corruption that's happening, all of this stuff is all because that, unfortunately, the government is not what people think it is. It is not there for your safety. It isn't. And if ever was, well, why did that new tech get deployed if it was there for people's safety? I'll take it even a further step more. Why are they pushing for forced vaccinations if they were there for your safety? Why are they making you wear masks? Knowing what it does, what people's telling people what the fuck it does, why are they pushing for that? Why do we have people in our own damn neighborhoods pushing for the same shit? Why? I'll tell you why. Because we're in a problem where we really are in a zombie apocalypse. I'm not joking. We are in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. And the virus responsible for this is being deployed by our own damn government. It's not to say that there are not any good politicians in government. It's not to say that there are no good cops out there. It's not to say that there was never any good presidents out there. It's not saying that at all. There are good people out there. Unfortunately, the majority of people who are in positions of power are corrupt, paid off. And they're not in for the best interests of the people at all. They're just not. They're not. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had all of this crap happen, man. A lot of people kept questioning Barack Obama's birth, right? Like like where was he born at, right? Explain to me, the woman who actually signed his birth certificate, why did she end up dead in a plane crash? Why, the ones who were known to basically, capture Osama, or basically kill Osama bin Laden, why were the members of SEAL Team 6 killed or all just mysteriously died in all sorts of circumstances? Not just a few, but all of them. What was up with that? By the way, SEAL Team 6 is the same ones who basically were the ones who were deployed out there to basically go take Osama bin Laden out. And if nobody has to believe this, but I'm just going to say it. Osama bin Laden is Barack Obama, okay? One and the same. And yet that asshole was in the fucking government, in the fucking offices. And coincidentally, this fucker, part of my language, but this guy is on the damn task force for this bullshit. Are you kidding me? Fauci too? We see what the fuck he been doing for the past few years. What the fuck are these people doing in there trying to manage this shit and they've been responsible for a lot of fucking atrocities? Why? Why? Just why? What the fuck does that make any sense? How does that, and I'm sorry for my language, but this is what I'm getting at on how retarded this stuff is. Why are these people still in office? Why? Why are they not behind bars, man? Bill, what the fuck? Who the hell was giving? What the fuck does Bill Gates have it in his mind that he has the effing authority to basically push force vaccinations on people? Who the fuck are you to say what they have to put in their damn body, huh? It ain't your fucking body. It ain't your damn choice. I don't give a damn how much money you got. Their body, their choice. Same goes for me. My body, my fucking choice. So you can take your vaccination and you can shove it up your ass. And I'm really not trying to sound negative, but like when I just hear this stuff, man, dude, Bill Gates, I can't recall what the name of the country was. It was one of the countries where he was distributing vaccinations to third world country people, like the same people who you would see in Africa and stuff like that, right? He's actually banned from even going into a damn country because of his bullshit. He is banned from going into a country, okay? He is banned because of the same shit related to his fucking vaccinations. So why in the hell is this guy even still talking about this shit? Why? Why? And why in the hell are these damn perps working for idiots like this? Why? Why do they not get off their ass to just research this stuff? Just look at it for themselves. Why do you just debunk the stuff? The minute it's brought up, oh, that's right. Chances are you either are a programmed slave willingly, or you're just too lazy to really look into things. We're dealing with a pandemic of people who just do not want to get up off their ass and really do the research like they need to and really look into things. And for people who do get a little bit of, and this is the problem. They were trying to program everybody like that to be lazy, to not want to look up the stuff. It's not our fault. It isn't. It's their fault because they're the ones who put that shit in the water. They're the ones who put that shit in the sky. They're the ones who basically put that shit in our food, in our clothes. They're the ones who did it, not us. No. And nobody didn't consent to this shit. Nobody. I'm grateful I did not settle down and have a family in this time. I can't stress that enough. I'm just beyond grateful because there's no way I would have been able to survive as long as I've have now if I had had a family and settled down. It's just no way. I'm fully confident there's no way at all that would have ever happened. There's just no way. Absolutely not. No. In every sense of the word, no. There's just no way, because you know what they do. If they can't go after you, they go after the next thing closest to you, your family. And they have done that twice. Actually, no, more than twice. They probably done it a lot more times than I realized, even when this stuff was covert, But when you really look at this stuff, it's just like, and it gets worse. How come, and I'm dead serious about this, how come nobody has ever even asked this one question of the president? A lot of these things that we have seen that happen related to with these individuals, right, that have been reported about these individuals, a lot of the shit what Obama was dealing with, and even Trump was questioning that dude's birth too. Wasn't Trump not asking about that shit? Because he was, when it was related to Obama, he was constantly asking about that shit. So I'm just curious, Why is nobody asking these questions anymore? Why? Like, what the fuck happened? Seriously. Like, why did we have a person who is still in office who was not fit, who was not meant to be president because he's a Muslim? He's not a U.S. citizen. He is not. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it out for what it is. He is not. You don't believe me? You can go ahead and look up all the research that has been done on that shit for yourself. Just look into it. You will see that this shit is actually true. He is not fit to be in that office, man. He was not. We're seeing these people who are basically having a lot of these fucked up times with a lot of the stuff they are deploying, and they're trying to deploy a forced vaccination who that are being pushed by these people who have had this fucked upness in their Are you serious? Are you serious? That alone is enough to get people to say, hell no. That alone is enough. Here's the problem, man. We've allowed the corporations to take over too much of the land, too much of the businesses, and too much of the infrastructure to where we don't have family-owned businesses. When you close down family-owned businesses, and this is the biggest problem, because of that, it allows them to have more control over the jobs and all that stuff. This is primarily one of the reasons why I'm saying fuck getting another job. I'm going off grid. I'm gonna live off the land and not even have to give two fucks about what any of this other crap that they're pulling, because I am not working for a corruptive system like that. No, I'm done working for a fucked up corporation that don't give a fuck about the people working for it. I'm done, over, no more, period. I'm done with the lies. I'm done with the deceitfulness. I'm done with the bullshit. I am done. Seriously. Even if we do manage to really beat this shit, I'm still gonna fucking go off grid regardless, man. Because let me tell you something. Paying these taxes, even being lied to your face, saying you gotta pay taxes, even though you're not really required to, and there's no law that says you have to pay taxes. If there is, show me the law. Show me the law. Give me a link. Show me the fucking law that says I am required to pay taxes. That I am lawfully obligated to pay taxes. Show me the law that says that. They probably will send an auditor. If you refuse to pay taxes, they probably will send an auditor your way. That's all you got to ask them. Show me the fucking law that says that. Being cheated like that, man, over these years, and then seeing these assholes, seeing this shit, what they did, what these gang stalkers are doing, dude. They harass people with fucking fire trucks, ambulances. Don't they charge an arm and a leg for that shit? Aren't people's taxpayers' money's going for that shit? Like, really? Man, fuck that, dude. Seriously, F all of that, man. There's a whole bunch of people, and I know because I have witnessed people in dire situations to where they did need an ambulance. How much you want to bet that, you know, there will be a time, there had to have been at least once where there was these pricks who are driving these ambulances around to just harass somebody who just so happens to be a TI, and someone needed emergency care. They needed a damn ambulance. So basically they were just doing stupid shit to harass a random person because they're being paid to do it while someone's in desperate care. What about all the pregnant women out there that needs an ambulance to get themselves to the hospital, man, who are in labor? What about that? What about the people with deadly injuries who really need a damn ambulance to get to the hospital because they are in a dire situation? What about those people, man? What the fuck? Like, seriously, I don't think people really understand how dumb this shit is, man. Only very few do. Only very few do. There's so much wrong with this society that I'm no longer even surprised at how dumb it gets, man. And I'm just very grateful that there are people out there who are smart enough to just see the idiocy that's out there, man. I am just beyond grateful, because you know something? I can't imagine someone living in a world like this on their own. I just don't. I just don't see that. I just don't. Anyway, I guess that'll do it for my rant for today. It's what, like 3:20. I still got to do laundry. And it's Saturday, July 11th. I did check the stuff that they were doing, and yes, they are still doing the stalking. They are still doing the directed energy attacks with the satellites. But because of me doing the detox baths that I've been doing, the effects of this stuff has really gone down dramatically. The effects of all of this crap is going down. Unfortunately, the mind manipulation is still a bit of a problem that I still need to deal with. But over time, that's going to no longer be an issue. It's just a work in progress. And the more of this stuff I siphon out of my body, again, everybody, I'm guessing even if you use a barrel, no, not even a barrel, but a bucket, I'm warning you, it'll probably, judging from what Matrix said, it was like around 3 or 4 times when he used the bucket. And it started basically, because this was what he mentioned in the comments on the last video. He said that, like, be careful because, like, he could literally feel the stuff coming off his nerves too. So everybody, for me, it only took like two tries before I got I actually started feeling that way. When that stuff really started, like, really, when I was really feeling drained. But you see, you're gonna feel like that when you do the detoxing because this stuff is coming off your nerves. It's gonna wear you down as this stuff is being drained out. What I mean is all the poisons that are basically coming from the geoengineering problem that we having right now. All the chemtrails and stuff, all the nanotech that they're putting in the food, all of that stuff that they're basically putting in, all that fluoride stuff that they put in the water. That stuff is, when you drain that stuff out after a certain period of time, it's gonna wear you out. So it's best not to, if you have a bucket, I say you can probably do that like once every, do it once a day, every 3 days, 3 or 4 days. But if you got the bucket, I'd say, dude, just use that once, take a break the next day, and then use it the next day after. So I used it twice so far, and it really, it got me into that state. So that's why I'm taking breaks in between and basically recuperate my energy, heal myself back up, and then I'm gonna do the next session again. These perps are freaking out because I'm shutting their shit down. They're freaking out because their whole area of operations has been exposed. So now there's people who are witnessed the location of this shit that's going down and where it's happening, yet they're still doing it. Now, what does that tell you? You still don't think our society's fucked up, because it is. And I ain't the only one going through this. My prayers go out to every single TI, every single truther, and every single whistleblower out there. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay strong.